Oh, hey, how are you, man?
What's up, dog?
Good, good. I've got the yawn tears. I've been yawning for the last fucking like 10 minutes straight, unfortunately. Now look, I've been sitting back here crying. How you doing?
I, I was gonna say, damn, dude, just get up from a little nappy there or what?
Holy fuck. Not like, dude, not just TMI, but like narcolepsy and the epilepsy, it just ends up causing this stupid wheel of just like when one of them gets knocked off, I am just yeah, so
Yeah,
it is what it is, man. I
I
wish I had gotten a nap in. I'm sure you do too. What, what's new with you though? Besides talking about my beautiful, crystally, sparkly eyes, what's new with you?
not a whole lot, man.
Nice.
It's still light outside. I think we
Oh,
have saved the daylight, so you know, it's still it's good. Feels like it's the middle of the day. It's just, work and other shit. Just, you know how it is.
saved the daylight. We had a couple like really really nice days there. We were even in the positive digits. Now we've got a snow warning for this week. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Do you really? Snow warning, huh? Yikes. Not out here, buddy. It's like
Oh,
mid 70s. Beautiful.
oh, well, I'm gonna say it must be nice, man.
Oh,
I
it's
I
great.
think tonight's gonna be one of those ones. Like every 2 seconds, I'm thinking to myself, "Oh yeah, I need a tab for. Oh yeah, I need a tab for. Oh yeah." So fuck, man, full night. And then we've got Connor Graves sitting down there. Dude, I'm kind of glad. Earlier today, I almost cleaned this up and
Yeah.
almost left the traditional supervillain mustache with soul patch, but I'm glad I didn't because then we'd have been twinning.
They
You
would
guys,
have
you
been
guys will see
twinning.
in a moment, but Connor Graves and I, we would have been fucking. You guys wouldn't have been able to tell who was who. I would have had to pull off screen, and it would have been a huge mess and confusion for everyone. But
That's true. Folklore
hey,
says new intro jam. No, no intro jam. No new jam. I think we actually have two intros, and they have
oh,
different songs on them from the same
oh,
people. It's from the same group, so I don't know which one we clicked on. Maybe we just clicked on the other one tonight.
yeah, maybe
Um,
the wrong asset is put there.
yeah, I think I put
Yeah,
different music to one of them, or I don't know, something, dude. That's something that we should probably change at some point, anyways. But
dial it in, anyways. Yeah. Hey, you want to say hi to all the homies in the chat, anyways?
love to, love to, love to. Pope Toys in early. What's going on, man? Slipshod average. What's up, dude? That is Brynwood Creations. Toys and Tits, what's going on? Headcase Toys back from overseas. What's up, dude? Welcome home, Mr. Ordinary, FKD, Suki in the house, Acidine, what up? Abaddon 40, the Jazz Whiz checking in from the great state of Kentucky. Jimmy Folks, what's going on, dude? Micah in the house. TND Toy Box, what's going on? Kevy Cold Cuts. Got your package the other day, dude. Very nice. We'll take a look at that in the next couple weeks. Doc Horror, what up? Pope Toys, my dude. Zimico, what up? Bootleg Toy Co. in the house. What is up, everybody? Thanks for checking in this evening. We got a good one. We got some good guests tonight. We got Connor Graves. We got a bunch of snazzy accounts and stuff to look at. Dingy Dave, what is going on, dog? Got a nice beauty of a piece from that guy that we're going to take a look at tonight. What's up with you, dude? What's been going on, man?
Well, just the usual.
Oh,
Just,
get
just,
out.
just the usual. Yeah, Zamicom, that little emoji there with the I don't, for some reason it made me instantly think of smoking, like the fucking mask, even though it's a no smoking. It's almost
Oh,
counterproductive. My
no,
'90s brain was like, "Hey, yeah, fuck yeah, darts, cool." Yeah, that's the issue.
darts. Darts, cool.
Dude, top notch. And I've probably mentioned it before. To this day, favorite time anybody's ever asked me for a cigarette because I think just the boldness of it. I'm outside, I'm hacking one. Some guy just comes strutting right up. He's like, "Suck a dick for a cigarette," and I was just like, "Oh shit!" Like, no, I'm good, but like, hot damn, hot commodity out here on these streets, man. I didn't know a dart was worth a BJ anymore. Like, maybe a couple cents, a loony, but like,
You're like, I'll do you one better. A dart for free. Have a nice
right?
day, my friend.
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna just outreach this to you. Have a great day.
Oh boy.
But yeah.
Bliss Receptor is in the house. What's going on, dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's starting to feel a little bit like summertime. It's definitely warming up over here.
What is that sick designer con poster thing you have behind you there? What is going on there?
Oh, you know what, dude? This is actually I forgot I had this here. This is actually a poster that I picked up a couple years ago from Dirty Donnie. If you guys aren't on Dirty Donnie, dude, get on Dirty Donnie. Dirty Donnie art. He was doing some posters for Designer Con. These are like official posters. This one was the green was he did a run of 20 of these. He did some in different colors too. But yeah, dude, it's just a sick ass poster. I actually had this above some of my arcade games and was moving some of that stuff around over the last few days and forgot that I had it there. But yeah, Dirty Donnie art. Huge account. And that dude, his work is just unbelievable.
Like bootleg Toyco there, or this whole thing. That's what it definitely felt like. Oh,
It
this?
did, yeah, it did
I
feel
didn't
like
realize
that.
that was there. Oh,
And it's super rad, dude. But I mean, it was like, as far as if you wanted to bring something home from Designer Con from an artist, dude, it was like $30, and it was signed, and it was a limited edition print, and they're super sick, man. They have other ones that have like different kinds of tones to them, but
how the
um,
fuck did you get that home from Decon?
oh, Decon, I drove to that one. That was down in
Okay,
LA. Yeah, so just rolled it
even
up and
still,
threw it in the car, threw it in the back seat, man. Mission
brave of
8
you.
hours, nice and home. So yeah, it's Dirty Donnie though, dude. The rest of his stuff is just fucking unbelievable, man. Like the style of his work is crazy. Super cool though. Anyways,
Like catches you. Simeon Cheese
Ashley
actually
K, what
posted.
up?
Simeon posted a picture of a piece. I think it was yesterday, asking if anybody recognized the artist. You go to their page, and it's ages ago that they posted it. It's always kind of neat when you just see like one of those pieces show up, and that would be very relevant now. And you go to the page and you see it's maybe been several years since they've put anything out. You're always just like, you were ahead, homie. You were just a little ahead of the train. Like,
Yeah,
must have
yeah,
been the
man.
days.
There's quite a few accounts out there right now. I mean, of course, as we go further along, right, where you kind of check back in and you're just like, oh yeah, I forgot about that account because maybe they're not around anymore for whatever reason, or maybe taking a break. But
Yeah.
it's cool, man, to kind of stumble on some of those old ones and check them out. And then when they come back, that happens a lot too, where people pop up again, and it's like, oh shit, you know.
Well, I think it'll be hard for me to remove from my brain the Mr. Django one. The like 2005, was it 2005? I think that they did a vinyl with DKE and Dove, and that interview just bumped. Camelot Commander, Mr. Django. Fucking look it up. Dude was fucking pumping out vinyl, doing then a bunch of painting work for the next little bit as like their primary medium, and then comes back onto our scene doing a bunch of like resin with the paint chips and stuff. It's just like, oh fuck yeah, like that.
Yeah,
That's what's kind of funny about it, man. And social media does it to us, and I'm sure it's a whole other conversation for a whole other night. But this whole like, like this posting, like this schedule, like you're supposed to, right? Like you're gonna lose. Maybe it's something about like the fear of losing relevance. Maybe it's a fear of losing traction. I don't know what it is, but like end of the day, some of these people, we see them go 4 or 5 years, they don't make anything. They come back and they make something when their spirit and creativity and everything else is just feeling ready to fucking make again. Maybe things in life align that they can make again. But like, it's just kind of sick. I bet if we asked Scott Hensey if there's little gaps in their career, I bet there's been little gaps.
sure. Yeah, dude. And I think that's, and I think just for the sake of getting burned out, I think that's probably important for artists and collectors alike, right? As far as the posting, there is a sense of obligation when you start to do it so much. And then, when you don't post, for me, I kind of feel like a piece of shit for a little while, because I'm like, man, dude, I was on this really good streak. And I do feel
Right.
some sort of obligation to buy a piece, photograph it correctly and post it, and give props where props is due, man. And when I feel like I'm getting backed up on that stuff, it does feel like a little bit of a disservice, I guess, in a way. But the other thing is like IG is definitely fueling that, right? Like they'll send you something saying, hey, most of your viewers are on this day between these hours. Okay. So ours is like Fridays between noon and 3. Well, I think you and I both work on Fridays between noon and 3. So I don't even know how that happens or where they go. I mean, what does majority mean? Does majority mean, 20 on Friday and 19 on Monday? So, like, what's the discrepancy there? It's really hard to kind of figure out what's what, dude. And I think for me, and I think for the show as well, dude, on some of our posts and stuff where they barely get any looks at all, and we're just like, we have several thousand followers, dude. How is that even possible? but it is possible. And then that's where it starts to get a little bit frustrating. Like, well, what the fuck, man? Like, we always talk about the algorithm and all this stuff, but um, it sucks, man. When you really think about it, we follow thousands of people, and how many posts do you see in the 20 minutes that you scroll? You know, Better yet, how many is it possible to see if you just scrolled without stopping? That's the other thing. So there is the algorithm, but there also, it's like, how much time are you really spending on Instagram? And I'm not advocating to spend more time on there. I'm just saying that for some accounts that we don't see sometimes, it would make sense that, we're only on for 20 minutes and we're seeing the first 200 accounts that we follow or have the most activity with. And so what does the guy at the 600, 700, 800, 1200, 1800 slot do? Nothing. We don't see them ever unless you're on there for days and days. And then even at that point, it's a crapshoot. So I don't know where that was going or why we even started talking about that, but fucking A. That's what it is. Rude Panda. What's up, dog?
That's how the show operates some days, man. This all being said, do you want to pull in Connor Graves here and get chat with them about what goes on? You got some of the pieces sitting there. What do you feel? What do you want to do?
Well, actually, I have some of his pieces here. So yeah, we'll talk about those. Those I've posted those already, but we got one from Dreams of Robots and then another one from
Nice.
Epoch. We'll talk about those and then kind of some other stuff. Bootleg Toyko says, I think the algorithm wants a mix, but honestly, I see people with 40,000 followers getting 30 likes on their post. Just keep train rolling. Yeah, absolutely, bro. That's kind of what I'm saying is it's so random, right? And that's with a lot of artists where you look at a post and it's something that's super sick and you go, well, how could that only get X amount of likes or something? Well, shit, dude, I think like the day and time, I think that obviously has something to do with it, but there's a lot of other stuff involved. I just don't think that, just because it doesn't get a lot of likes certainly doesn't mean that it's not good work or cool work. It's just one of those fucked up things.
Well, I think Mr. Ordinary kind of nailed it there too. That's the
Yeah.
part that becomes like annoying even as people who utilize the app, right? Like they're letting us use it for free, but you just want to be able to see the homies. And my brain can't actually memorize all like 2,000 people that we're following. So I don't think to just type in those individual names every day, make sure I'm seeing if they've done anything new. Yes, you can turn on the notifications on there so you get it, but anyways,
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be a battle we're never gonna win, man. That's why conventions and online shows are always gonna be the key. Even something like the online show, consider for a second, like when we do one of those and you're clicking on all those artists, we've opened up a tab or whatever, we've got them all saved. That's probably the most that I'm gonna see in a row of toys when I'm on Instagram. Is if we are intentionally doing something like that, saving them all, looking at them all, following a particular hashtag, etc. Like that's really, and you know what? As a tool to be able to do that with a bunch of our homies from across the globe, like I'll take it. Eh,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, shit, dude, we'd see everybody's stuff if we had nothing else to do and just sat there and scrolled all damn day.
that's what we should start doing every day. Then
Oh, okay, I'm down.
quit your job, quit mine.
Oh, problem solved.
We'll
Jimmy
figure
Foltz
it out.
wants more Fig Newton ads. I get it, man. I feel you, bro.
Oh gosh.
Count me in on that.
I don't. I fuck Fig Newtons. You got to get the right kind, man.
All right,
That's all. You got
fair.
the right fruit inside of there, not actual figs.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right. Chris Graves action.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Let's do it. Chris, you good?
Good
I
to go.
I just assumed their name was Chris. Maybe that's also just part of the match.
Yeah,
How's it
dude. I
going,
think
man?
the first post that I did, I spelled his name wrong. And then now you got Chris. So, awesome. Connor Graves, what's going on, man? How you
Jeez.
been?
What's going on? What's going on, guys? Yeah, the spelling is definitely like I get that all the time. I'm the oldest Connor that I've met because my parents named me when Terminator came out, and they were like, "Oh, Connor's John Connor. Connor's would be a cool first name, and that's how I got my name.
Dang, dude, they were
Um,
on that one early, man. There's a lot. You're right, dude. I think you are probably the oldest Connor besides Conor McGregor, you know?
How old is he?
I have no idea.
Man, I'm 37. I'm turning 38 this year. So I haven't met a few, but there's everyone I've met, way younger.
Dude,
And
that's
they
a good
spelt
thing.
it the right way. They spelt it the right way. Everyone else is spelling it the wrong way. This is stupid. Like everyone does this when I talk to them. Like the spelling. But yeah, what's going on, guys? Thanks for inviting me on. It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. That's a great segue into why don't you tell us who you are and what the hell you're doing?
Oh dang. Whoa, I got the full screen. Man, what am I doing? That's the question. It's been a roller coaster, what I've been doing lately. I've had a whole art career leading up to diving full force into toy design. And I've just had so many different pivots going forward. I guess do you want me to, like, I guess I don't know, go through like my
No.
history,
No, but
how I
just
got here?
let me ask one question real quick. The on the wall, dude, is that from Alter Toys?
What, this right here?
Yes.
No, this is Skinner.
Oh, that's Skinner. Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
the Skinner and Alter Toys they collabed on that resin piece right there. What's that one
Oh,
called?
this character right here.
The Djinn.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
I have the Alter Wolfman. I think just showed up in the mail like yesterday.
yeah, those are
And
sick,
I
man.
think I ordered that forever ago. I forgot about it. And then it was like something got delivered. I'm like, what got delivered?
Yeah, there were some delays in that one for whatever reason. But so just like let's just kind of start from the beginning, dude. You haven't been around, like your account doesn't have a whole lot of work on there. You and I were kind of talking before the show about how you kind of got into the indie toy world, man. Why don't you kind of take us through that scenario?
So yeah, my Instagram, I've culled it, like reset it probably 3 times now. So I've used Instagram just kind of as like a work diary. I never cared about followers or anything like that. It was just like, I'm just gonna post so I can look back at all the different work I've done. But it started back, I guess, pre-pandemic. I was actually running an arcade on Fremont Street here in Las Vegas.
Oh shit.
Yeah, me and 2 other guys, we built it up for about 4 years. And we were about to go to a new location, like 8 times our size, like build a whole like family fun center kind of thing down there, because there's nothing down there for like all ages. And people bring their kids all the time, which would always blow my mind. They'd be like, what's there for my kid to do on Fremont Street? You're like, not be here. Or you can show them outside and show them all the people. Like, if you fuck up, you could be one of these people out here. But the arcade was growing. We were about to go 8 times our size. And we signed a lease. It had to be built out in February 2020. So March happened, the world fell apart, and luckily they got out of the lease, and it came down to me as the vote. Like, one guy wanted to stay open, one guy wanted to close, and so it came down to me, and I was like, I don't want to bleed to death down here. Like, no one's coming down here. I'm just gonna be kicking out homeless people like for the next 2 years. I was like, let's close this down. Let's just all 3 of us build that out. And they didn't want to do it. So I just washed my hands, and it was like, cool, 4 years of work, just like up in smoke, just burnt all the way down. So I stayed at home and was like, all right, where are we pivoting? What are we going to do next? And the world was on fire, and it was just seemed just so insane. And I was like, we have time and resources. Let's chase a dream. I've always like done art and graphic design and just always kind of wanted to be an artist, but was always told like, that's not a real job. Like, you can't, like, that's a hobby that if you're really good and really lucky that you do, after you work 8-10 hours doing a real job, then maybe if you're lucky, you'll be able to become an artist. And I was like, well, I'll pretend I'm one right now because I'm stuck at home. Let's do it. So I started trying to grab any opportunity I could. I said, we'll go wide. We'll just grab any opportunity in the art realm. And when I'm not doing that, it's art school. Like it's 8-10 hours a day. I'm just going to practice painting, just doing tons of stuff. So I found I'm going to try to make this go fast. There's so much. I started reaching out to other local artists, and I started helping with murals, like doing big mural work. I did quite a few on my own, which was pretty crazy. It was through this organization called Graffiti Park, and they were doing schools during the pandemic. And they were just like, come on down, we'll give you paint and a wall. And they're like, anyone. And I was like, anyone? And they're like, anyone. And I went down like, maybe I'll help someone who knows what they're doing. But I went down, they gave me paint, and like the first wall they pointed at, it was like 11 feet long or something. I was like, no, I need something small in the corner that no one's going to look at. But every time they got a project, I kept going back, and each one kept getting better and better. And I was like, okay, we're getting the hang of this. And I was meeting muralists, like local muralists and graffiti guys.
Now, do you have a background in art at all, or was this something that you had as a hobby at one point and just decided to kind of go all into it? I mean, you had to have some sort of art experience before, yeah?
I've been nothing professional. Like it was always like just like a hobby. Like since I was little, I was always drawing, doing, big paintings, just trying stuff. It was never, the idea of being a professional at it was never really even entered the consciousness, but I always liked doing it. And people were always like, this is really good. But never actually like was brave enough to, I don't know, like just go for it.
Yeah.
So I started joining like the local art scene here. Got in with some galleries, was in some shows.
Doing what kind of work?
Mostly painting. So there was one guy, his name was David, opened up a show, like his own gallery during the pandemic, and did a show where he CNC'd the Las Vegas sign. And he goes, you come down, you buy the sign for $50 and you paint it, whatever, and you're in the show. And I was like, whoa, okay. Oh, I'll do that. So I went down, became friends with him. He had me watching his gallery for a bit, which led me to a lot of the other, because there's like 100 people probably entered this thing. So I followed all of them and then got to know other gallery owners, started watching their galleries. So I was getting into the local the local art scene here in Vegas and getting to know all the players and all the people. And because I was like, I need to figure out how to do this professionally. So I need to find the professionals and hang out with them,
Sure.
So I saw kind of how all these people were doing it in different ways. And then a company called Meow Wolf opened up. We're opening up their second location here. It's called Omega Mart. It's still here. And they're like a big immersive art company. They do kind of like, they're known for making things out of like trash and just like reclaimed items. And they built these like immersive rooms, like all that immersive room stuff that you're kind of seeing a lot of people do. It all came from them out of Santa Fe. They really kind of like started it years ago. And I was like, there we go. I'm going to get in there. I'll be a janitor if I have to. Like, I'm going to get in there and I'm going to keep working on my art and I'm just going to give it away. Like, I'm going to go to work and I'm just going to throw it in the break room. Like everything I did on the weekend or after work, just like, that's practice. I don't even care about it. Like, throw it out. So I got in at retail since I was, had kind of like management and customer service experience before that. So I got in with retail, which was fun because it was like high school again. I'm like hanging out with a bunch of like 18, 20-year-olds. And it felt really weird, but it was really, really fun. Like it had a lot of like human connection after feeling so isolated in the pandemic.
Yeah, for sure.
But I kept rolling with it. Just I would go home, do like just paint. I tried once something felt like I hit like a dead end, like, oh, my painting's not getting any better. Then I would try watercolor. Then I would try digital, like that's how I always kept moving forward, because it was like once I hit a dead end, then I could mix two things together, and then that would take that to the next level. So I started getting a reputation like as an artist, and I got on to the like art, scenic, and maintenance team there, like in about 6 months, and then started working on that stuff, which was pretty much like all these artists came in and built this exhibit, and tourists came in and just started punching it. So it was just like crazy art would break, and then I would get it, and then it would be like, what is this made out of? Like, how do I rebuild this like to what it was? Do I patch this and make it stronger? Do I make it completely like from the ground up, but the same thing? So it was very like scrappy and just kind of like whatever I had lying around, try to get this like all this art fixed. So it just taught me to be very just scrappy and like putting stuff together to like fix things. And crazy enough, this is all gonna tie around. It's so crazy. Because Toys has been kind of like a black hole. Like it's just slowly been pulling me in, and I didn't even know it. So when I didn't know techniques or something, YouTube University, it was like, all right, let's go to YouTube. They once gave me an airbrush and like this plastic log, and they're like, paint like realistic log texture on this. And I was like, I have never used an airbrush. I've never done realistic texture ever. That's new. YouTube, how do you even use an airbrush? Then I found the Craftsman. This was before all the toy stuff, but I was watching. He had such great like videos of just like, oh, let's try this. Here's how this works, and he's did such a great job of always like breaking it down and making it super accessible on whatever he was doing, which was fantastic. So followed all these artists on YouTube and stuff. Continued the art career, kept just jumping, doing bigger and bigger stuff. All the way to where I got a couple like dioramas. I got really into like model making. So I was making little dioramas, and then I ended up doing like a straight like 6 foot tall diorama. Like it's as tall as me, and it's this big inverted mountain with a whole city built into it, like dribbling down onto a mirror. So it actually looks like it's two triangles like standing like that, on their tips.
Yeah.
Because that was the goal when I pointed at it. I said, I'm getting in there. I'm going to try to be an artist with them. And I was like, I'm starting as a janitor if I have to. And in 5 years, I want a piece of my art with my name on it in there. That's the goal. And I did it in 4. I did it in 3.5, 4 years. And I was like, cool. After that, worked with some more artists, some Meridian Man artists on some big stuff. And I was feeling very like, okay, I'm always like, what's the next step? What's the next thing? What's the next big thing? And it felt like it kind of like was drying up there. So I was looking to jump somewhere else. I got a tip on a fabrication shop that needed someone. So I went over there, met the owner. Super cool dude at first. We go and talk, and he's like, he stops. I just showed him like stuff that I had worked on, and he's
At
like,
first. Dun, dun, dun.
Just wait, bro. Bro, promoted myself right off a cliff. He stops me and he's like, what do you need to get paid, and when can you start? And I was like, you match me on well for there, and he goes, done. So I was like, oh damn, okay. Put in 2 weeks. Now this was a cushy corporate job too. Like this was like the most I've ever get paid, 401k, health insurance. Like it was cushy. but I was putting like, personal, not achievement. What's the word I'm looking for? Just growth. I'm just always trying to grow. I'm trying to always get better.
Sure.
And I was feeling stale. I was like, oh, I'm just going to sit here forever. No, like we gotta find the next thing. So I leave, I go to him, completely different dude the first week. He hazes me for a whole week. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Like, how did this happen? Like, this is a different dude. And I couldn't figure it out. I just hit the ground running. I was like, maybe seeing if I'm tough or something. At the end of that first week, he pulls me aside and he's like, look, like you can't say what you can't do what you said you could do. And like the guys at Home Depot could do better. And I was like, damn, okay.
And what kind of work was this?
This was like bigger scenic work. They were about to do the Friends exhibit in MGM. Like we were about to build all the sets of Friends.
Let's be honest, bro. That show sucks anyway. So like,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're on the same page there.
It was a blessing in disguise, really. And that's why I'm just kind of like, just brush that off. It's all been leading up to this. So he pulls me aside, berates me some more, and then he's like, well, I'm not going to fire you, but I'm going to have to cut your pay in half. And I'm like, ding, ding, ding. That's it. That was why you did this. You agreed probably to too much money or something, and instead of manning up and being honest, like you had to tear me down and then try to make me weak and then, then break it to get what you wanted. I was like, nope. I picked up my shit and left. And I could see that was not the way he thought it was going to go. He was like, well, wait, hold on. Maybe I can give you a little bit more. And I'm like, no, you know my rate. I'm out of here. Like, you call me. So once again, like pandemic, I was like, cool. All this work. What are we doing next? Because they had already filled my position over there. Like, super fast. And I was like, chasing the dream happened last time. We know how to make it work. Like, let's go. And I wasn't sure where I was going to land. I took a really cool like toy design course with, it was online through a company called Elevator. And the teacher was the creative principal at Hasbro. They're working currently on Beyblades and Transformers. And I was like, cool, this seems like a cool thing to do.
Now, was that a course that anybody can take, or was that through a college? Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, no, you actually do get a certificate at the end, and it seems super sketch at first because I was getting ads for it, and then I was like, oh, is this one of those where you're just buying videos, like you're buying, $100 and you're buying some 12 videos? And it was like, no, this was like a college. You were paying for like a college course, and it was all live. It was like you showed up on Zoom, twice a week, and they took you. She was taking you pretty much from like design, like concept, all the way to like pitch, like industry ready pitch. And I was like, cool. This is what I need to know. Like, do I want to end up here?
Sure. So
I did all that, learned all that, and I was like, do I want to be in this corporate structure again? Like being honest with myself, like, because that's where I came from. Meow Wolf is very corporate. It's very, they have this image of being like willy-nilly, kind of like run by artists. We're just grabbing garbage up and we're making cool stuff. It's not that, dude. It's not that. There's the top, and then there's a whole bunch of middle management, and then there's the bottom. I was at the bottom.
Now, at this point, are you kind of leaning towards more toy production, or are you still have the painting in the back of your mind, or just trying to figure something out to work?
So as I was going on, I was like, oh, all my skills that I've taken from like working in this immersive arts, I was like, can fit, I think, really well within this industry. I was like, because a lot of things line up. I've worked with a lot of model making. And I think the philosophy's there, where it's like you're trying to really design like an experience, like something for someone to like interact with. It's not a static thing, and the creativity is endless. You can make it. I was watching a lot of people on YouTube like kit bash stuff together, like Dan does, and craftsmen, and those guys were really inspiring. So I was doing that at home. I was just like buying up like cheap toys. I was going down to like Ross and stuff and just buying cheap stuff and chopping it all up and making crazy stuff.
Sure.
Just for fun. That was like what I did when I went home. I did tons of like Gundam models, like trying to just like get things perfect, paint them. And that led me to DesignerCon, came in at 2024. And that blew my mind wide open once I was there. I was like, whoa, these are my people. This is who I've been looking for. And that whole first experience was nuts because I was standing in this line of 300-400 people, start talking to the guy in front of me. And, you know, what do you do? Oh, I do this. What do you do? Oh, I do this. He's like, I work for a company called BackerKit. I'm like, oh, I know BackerKit. I just funded Skinner's board game that was just on there. And he goes, oh, I'm Jason Fury. I'm the guy who designed the board game. And I'm like, really? Out of all these people, I'm standing in this whole line and I'm just talking with you.
Wow.
So I become friends with him, just chit-chatting. He takes me. I'm like, I don't know what's in here. Like, I don't know who's cool. I don't like, can I just follow you? Just see what you're doing? He's like, yeah, sure. And he's like, there's a guy called Sun Guts. We got to go right there.
Good one.
Okay. So that was the first piece I ever bought, was like this Sun Guts huge, like megalodon shark. So I was like, that's one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Nice. That was your first piece. Damn, that's a good one.
It was crazy because he was like, you're buying that? I'm like, yeah. I bought it up. And then we walked around for like 10 more minutes and came back. And he goes, it's gone. And he goes, holy shit. He goes, dude, that was a good pickup that you just got. I was like, really? Like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I didn't put it next to me, but I have the whole little crew over here, kind of like what brought me in. So I spent the 3 days there just wandering around talking with people, seeing everyone's stuff. And everyone was just like so nice and like welcoming and like, you know, talking about their stuff, talking about my stuff. Just like, I was just kind of like eyes wide open, just like, what is this? This is cool. I had seen like art toys, but like in boxes, you know, at stores, you know, not like, oh, I came from all around the world and I made the like 5 of these things. You know, I was like, whoa, there's a whole scene like this? This is so cool. And I walked around, and the second piece I bought was this guy.
Toys and Tits had just commented on that Turgo from Slimehouse.
Yeah, so I had no idea what this was. I just caught my eye. I was like, this guy's rad. So, and I looked at the foot and was like, what the hell is Slimehouse? So I put in the YouTube and found Theo and started watching his stuff.
Yeah.
Went down that whole rabbit hole, you know, learning that this was actually Safubi and all this stuff like that. And yeah, it was just something that was catching my eye. And it was something that just like as a hobby, I was doing model making and just kind of being inspired by this. This wasn't really something I was like, oh, I'm going to be making these.
Yeah.
Now, fast forward to, you know, promoting myself off a cliff. I was like, I want to be in the toy industry. I really like this stuff. Where am I going to land? So I was looking at the whole corporate thing. Like, am I going to get a job in a big corporate place? And then I was like, wait a second. I think I can do this by myself. I think I can do this on my own. So I started learning digital sculpting. I got Nomad Sculpt, and just a month, like 8-10 hours a day, like a month on it. And I gave myself the prompt of just like, oh, let's just make cute little animals. Try to do something like soft and squishy and cute, but then throw in like 20% of what I really like, which is like mechs and robots. You know, I like horror stuff too. Like horror is one, like I'm a big Skinner fan and just like big horror fan. But I was like, not sure if I can balance that. We'll just put some robot stuff on these guys. And I had a resin 3D printer that I bought just to like start playing around with. So digital sculpting, start printing these out, and DesignerCon was coming up for this last year, 2025. And I was like, oh, here's what I'll do. I'll just like, people really like, those were just practice. These little animals were just little, like, I was just practicing, but people are like, are you selling? Like, are you going to make those? Those are cool. I was like, okay. Yeah, that's one of the guys.
Okay. Didn't want to interrupt, but I was curious if these were what you were talking about. Sorry.
I didn't
Legit,
post
dude.
tons of stuff, but yeah, that was all hand painted, resin 3D printed.
Oh, dude, come on now. You know what? In the words of Crumbs, that's a fun little piece. That's a fun little piece right there.
And I
like that, dude.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't have the big printer too, so I knew I had to do something small. So I was like, oh, I can get little capsules, little 2-inch capsules, they'll fit in there. And then my printer beds, I got a Mars 5 Ultra, so I think it's like 4x6. So I could get like 5 or 6 of them in one print in like an hour and a half, and I was just learning how that all works. At first they were getting messed up, and I was like, oh, I should hollow them out, and then I had to patch them, and then I had to sand them, and then it was crazy. And I was like, oh, I'll do as many as I can until DesignerCon, and this will be like my business card. I'll go and network and meet people and hand these things out, and it'll be like, I'll be able to show people, I'll show you, like, type of guy, like, talks cheap. So I want to do the thing and then be like, here, look, I can do the thing. I did the thing. So I ended up with 60 of them. It took me 5 days to paint all 60 of them, 10 hours a day. I thought it was, I also completely underestimate time.
These were giveaways, right?
I was just going to give them away. Wow. And I was sharing everything on Instagram, and people wanted to start to buy them. So I ended up selling half of them before DesignerCon even came up. Like, I started a little Whatnot store, and I bought a vending machine. I was vending them on Whatnot for like 1 or 2 times, seeing if that was like a route I would want to go. But it was, when I looked at it, I'm like, these are all people that I know. Like, I didn't get any, like, I just took a middleman, and then like it was all people I knew. No one on there wanted to buy it. So I was like, okay, that's probably not it. Went to DesignerCon, met and handed them out. And I had known Eric Scarecrow for a minute, actually. He did. I put one of his pieces over here. So this is one of his newer ones. It's a Medusa.
Oh, wow, dude.
I don't know if I've seen that. That's sharp as hell. Did you do the paint app on that? Or is...
No. So these come, they're not postable. They come in boxes. Man, I didn't know he was been on the scene for so long. I had actually picked up some of his pieces because I had worked at, he's local here in Vegas. And I've worked with this convention since the beginning called Level Up Expo. I was with them as a volunteer over 10 years ago now, when it was like 300 people. And now we're coming up to, if they keep going the way that we're going, it's like, it's going to be one of the biggest conventions, like nerd conventions. They do like, it's like not really toy based, but there's some toy stuff there. It's like a little bit of everything. It's like anime, video games, tournaments, TV shows, voice actors. I run like all the, I was put in charge of the special guest division, and I had 3 people, and now I have like 40 people now. And it's like a once a year thing. I go and kind of like just coordinate it all. So yeah, I'd always seen his stuff, and I at his booth, and one time it just stopped me in his track. It just stopped me, and I was like, I need these. Like, I got to pick these up. So I picked up a couple of his pieces, and so he was there. I was showing him my stuff, and we might have something in the works coming down the line soon. I've been focusing just like on these phases where it was like, okay, learn to sculpt, learn to print. Okay, these are actually good, Okay, once I like sold out of that first run of those little Chibi Machina guys, I also sent you, I got your package in the mail today, your secret handshake stuff, and I threw in some other things I painted, and you have some prototypes of the little chibi machines in there and some stickers in there too.
Real quick, Lynn's the rat boy on a work break. What's up, dog? Don't get to see you much. Hope you're doing well. Sorry,
yo. And then the next phase was like, I was learning how to do like Vinyl Wonder, actually how to use that paint. Because my very first decon I bought, hold on, let me get him. He's up here on this tall shelf. Let me get this first thing that I ever did.
That's like the collector glance right there. When someone's talking and then all of a sudden you see them start looking at something, you're like, you're looking at it right now. I know you are.
Oh, man. God, dude, so many different areas already, man. With we haven't even got to the toy painting yet. How about that?
But it does all kind of make, and we know how it is. We peel back the layers of the onion, how it all kind of trickles into place.
Well, I like how the buildup is gonna. I feel like the buildup is gonna end with toy making here. Ooh, yes, dude, show me that. What is that?
So this was Rick Katigawa, I think is his last name. So I did this at that first decon. I had Gundam markers on me, and I bought this, and this is all done with like Gundam markers, just like alcohol paints.
That's pretty fucking impressive for like I know they're paint markers, but still, man, that's a lot of area to cover.
Yeah, I sat there in their little like interview area, and I just sat there, I think, for a whole day, and was just like just listening to interviews. But then I learned about Vinyl Wonder and was like, oh, that's how you legitimately like paint these things. So I had a bunch when I was first testing it out, and I bought some more and was like, okay, here's phase 2. Like I can sculpt, I can print. I also know I can paint. So let's get like seen in the scene a little more. I had a couple blanks I had bought at Designer Con. I was on Instagram. I started like buying up other people's stuff. And just started hitting it with the Vinyl Wonder paint, which quickly became my favorite paint. That is the best paint to paint with, because I am impatient in a way. Like I do like being efficient and fast. That stuff dries in like almost instantly. Like you spray it and you can watch it just like soak into the plastic, and you're just like, I'm not putting my hand in wet paint anymore. I can't wait. Like, this is awesome. Because the worst would be like, you're painting one thing and then you're just like, I want to do that, or I want you to, oh fuck, I just touched that area. Now I got to touch that up. I just got to put it down and not touch it until this shit dries. And then you get distracted by some other stuff. The Vinyl Wonder, I just could go and go and go and go and go, because it just it's instant dries. It doesn't let you. I've been practicing trying different techniques, trying to like, it's hard to do like any sort of like brushing or wet blends into it. So it's got some drawbacks, that you can do with other paint, you can't do with others. But I love that stuff. I love painting with it. It's so nice. So yeah, I was doing a whole bunch, and I was like, I'll start like an online store to share it with the artists that I, paint, take a good picture, put it on Instagram. Maybe they'll share it to their people, get some eyes, on what I'm doing.
Sure.
And then Assembly Required reached out to me. Like I was looking at shows and stuff, but I was like, I'm not ready for that. But they reached out to me, and I was like, I gotta go. Like, I gotta go. If you're reaching out to me, like, I just started. Like, what do you mean you're inviting me to be there? So I was just like in overdrive, just like paint as much as I can. I painted for like 2 months straight, and then I put it all into a box and I shipped it to someone I never met. That was scary. It's just all in a box, and you're like, oh, I hope I see that again.
Yeah. Now, were you into vinyl collecting, or were you collecting any sort of vinyl or any sort of indie toys before you started painting up the vinyl?
Collecting very, very like the bottom tier of collecting. Like I would have never called myself a collector, where I was like, I need to get this stuff and I need like all of it and I need a big collection. It was just something that I liked making the stuff. And then when I saw things at either like Level Up, when I grabbed Eric's stuff, and when I went to Designer Con, I bought a lot of blanks because I was like, I want to paint that. Like it was more like I want to like interact with this thing, not really like collect it and put it on a big like display. It was more like I want to be like in this. But then there's a couple things like that were just like I just love. Like I got this from Unbox, the Tetsuo. Like I love horror movies, and when I saw this, they did a show, and it was like they gave it to a couple artists, and you could only get it from a show, and each one was like a 101 custom. But then they did like a couple hour open order where it was like maybe 4 hours, and it was well, there goes Eric's thing, but it's all good. It's fine. It's vinyl. That's why I also like vinyl. Was like, so my sister dropped her little resin guy, and it shattered, and I was like, oh, that might not be the road to go down. Like,
it's a different game, that's for sure.
Yeah, it just being so fragile. I was like, oh, dude, what can we do? So painting, assembly required, learned, all my painting skills. Like I'm a really good painter.
Yeah.
And I love doing that stuff. But like I said, I'm always like looking at the next thing. So I wanted to get my own stuff produced. I had some sculpts, and I talked with Abe at Toys on Tap, and I got introduced to some factories, so they got sent off, and I got quotes back, and was like, ugh. Like I was like, damn, that's a lot of money to make this like even close to like a profitable margin on things. I was like, what am I going to do with 500 of these things?
Yeah.
Like I don't really like selling stuff. Like that's not the part I enjoy. Like I don't want to do the part I enjoy 10% of the time and then have to like, okay, that part's over. Now you got to spend 90% of your time trying to offload 500 of these little guys.
Yeah.
And then I saw that like people like Craftsman and Wonder Goblin were like, we're just doing it here. We're just gonna make it ourselves. And I was looking at that price on that coaching and was like, I want to do it myself. Like once again, I'm just gonna do this myself. So now that's the next phase, moving into producing my own things. And I want to produce my own things. I want to work with other artists who might not even be in the space. And make stuff for them. I would see the potential is like huge. It's just huge out there. Like, and it from this scene, it feels like it's like the passion that I've seen and just the people that are in it. You guys are the best people that I've met in an art scene. I was like, everyone, it works so hard. And it's a struggle. Like I've been through it, but it's like from what I'm seeing other people through it, I'm like, dude, like I was watching your guys' show and I saw Ocular just like frozen in like a hut. And he's just like, here's my painting, my wash cup. And it's just like a brick of ice. I'm like, that's the dedication that like this scene has. Like shout out to him. Like that is, we'll go through everyone will go through a lot just to get that. It's like where true passion lies. I love it. And it's like, yeah, this was where I was like, it felt like I meant to be along. Here we go. Yeah.
Dude.
That guy was really fun. He was kind of hard because he was like the first guy that was very like angular. I was like, oh, because I don't like masking. Takes too long.
Yeah.
So I didn't mask any of that. Like no masking on it.
Is that all going to be airbrush as well on that guy?
It's all airbrushed except for I think what I did to get those little rivets was I did airbrush a little bit of yellow to get that glow effect. And then I took like a little sculpting tool, that little ball end.
Yep.
And then just dipped it in some paint and then just kind of dabbed each tip just to brighten it up a little bit more. So it kind of had that cool glowing effect. But that's the only thing I might have touched up the eye. I might have had a little too much overspray maybe on the eye. Like I don't mind taking a brush and just cutting back a tiny little bit on something.
We're gonna put up the magnifying glass now.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. To say, like, dude, this one actually caught my eye right away on the table at Assembly Required, man. This one was you had a bunch of stuff on the table, but this one stood out, dude. Those colors are amazing on there.
Thank you.
Sick. Now this is a piece by Dreams of Robots.
Yeah.
This one, this is probably, I'd say, I don't know how many pieces they've come up with, but this is probably, I've seen this one in a whole bunch of different versions. I believe this one started off of a Kickstarter a few years ago, but sick piece, man. Super sick.
Thank you. Yeah, he's just working on some newer stuff. Like he's got 2 new arms and I think a new head. And I think he's keeping like the body and legs the same on like a new one. But he's been showing that off on his Instagram, and it's really cool stuff. He's a cool guy too. I met him. I picked that one up at design. I picked both of those up at the first designer con I went to.
Nice. Now this is the auger from Epoch. What was the base color of this one?
That was pink. The whole thing was pink.
Wow.
Yeah, and I remember just walking around, and he was with Killer Napkins.
Yes, sir. What a great booth.
Yeah, and that's the type of art like I just love. I just eat that stuff up. And I saw like all of his like Mobius inspiration and his zines and stuff. I bought all that up. So I was like, this is my jam. This is the stuff that I look at like that. There's just those artists you look at and you're just like, how did you even do this? Like,
exactly, man. You know, you mentioned you have somewhat of a you mentioned murals. And obviously Killer Napkins, dude, that guy's murals are just they're on a whole nother level. Did you have a chance to talk to him about any type of mural stuff, or was it pretty much all toy based?
It was all just toy based. I was just asking him about his stuff. I was like, what is this made out of? I was just so curious about the toy things. Like I have done enough murals and I still help people out but it's me personally. I was like, I don't want to be a muralist. Like I didn't want to put all my chips in on that. I love doing it. I love painting. I love working with other artists. And I'll still, if someone hits me up and they're like, I need an assistant, I need help, like I'm there. And it can pay some good money too, but chasing those contracts is also a lot of work where you put a lot of work up front for something that might not even come to fruition. It's almost like hitting a lottery where you're like, dude, I just put in a whole week. I might get 50 to 100 grand to do this huge thing, or I might not.
Yeah.
They just throw you like $100. They're like, here, thanks.
Yeah.
Cool. That was a great week.
As far as painting other people's stuff, man, is that something that you still look to do? Or are you still out there hunting down blanks and trying to paint stuff up?
It's slowed down. I did grab I got a lot of stuff from Assembly Required.
Yeah.
Like it refilled the shelf.
Sure.
So yeah, I just finished up a commission for Rat Wizard. And I think I'm going to slow down on commissions. We were talking a bit about this. I think just like mentally I'm learning, that I'm like, commissions are kind of hard for me because I'm always trying to impress myself with what I'm doing. Like if I fail at that, I'm the only one I've disappointed, but when there's a commission and someone's giving you money, okay, now I'm trying to impress myself and them. And I'm okay with failing myself, but failing someone else is a lot harder. It's just sitting there in the back of my mind. And every paint job, it always hits this point of uh, somewhere in the middle of that like ugly phase. Like I don't know. There's a phase every time where your brain just goes, "This ain't gonna work, man. This is gonna look like shit. But dude, it's all gonna fall apart." And you just got to be like, "Shut the fuck up. Put that back there. Continue forward." Not listen to that. And then on the other end is always like, "Damn, like this came out pretty good."
Yeah. Well, and I think that's a common theme too. Crumbs, you'd probably agree, man. I think that, almost every artist that we talk to, I think at one point, and I would say even the most experienced guys probably still go through that, as artists, man. And I think that would be kind of a Eric says right there, dude, that kind of nails it. He's his own worst critic. And I think, that would be an interesting conversation, just probably between artists on how they approach that, man. Like you said, probably just pushing through and saying, shut the fuck up and everything's gonna be fine. But then actually doing that is probably a whole nother story, man. So, especially in your case too, dude, it sounds like sometimes when you've run into a dead end, I don't want to say a dead end, but maybe an opportunity has kind of come to a close. It seems like you're jumping into something, a completely different medium, instead of trying to find something and saying, hey, I have experience in this. It sounds like you've gone a different direction a bunch of different times, and now they're kind of all coming together, which is very cool to see, man. Where do you see it going in the next year or so? I know you said you have some vinyl possibly in the works of your own.
Yeah, so I just accumulated all this stuff to start production in the garage. Seen quite a few other people doing it, but the whole craftsman method of going, I'm gonna do silicone first and see the limitations of that, like silicone molds. It might evolve into metal pretty quick because I have some welder friends. I got people who do like hot rods and stuff, and I've shown them the videos, and I'm like, "How do you do this? How do you put copper onto this steel plate? Can you do that? What's that big old rod?" And they're like, "Oh, that's steel carbon tungstite. You need a 420 arc welder." I don't know what you're saying. I'm gonna hire you later, like when we get there. But I have all the silicone. I have everything. I got the plastisol from Polysol, the really good stuff, the really industrial good stuff. So yeah, that's the next phase. The next phase is production, is producing my own stuff. And once I can get a couple of my things, out and good, I want to offer this as like a service to other artists who are already in the vinyl scene. Someone wants an extra head, because the main thing I've noticed in the scene too is just, everything is made in China, Mexico, or Japan. And just tariffs and shipping and all this cost it's like really hard. It's really hard for people. And it's like, there's just a huge opportunity to offer this as a service for people. But I got to get it nailed down first. I got to make sure that it's good. And I'm going to start on a couple of my own things. It's going to be like a separate business in studio. It's going to be, I'm calling it Heavy Impact Studio. I got a logo that I got a friend, who's a professional he works on like corporate logo design. He's doing a whole logo for me and, starting the LLC and all that stuff. So it's going to be a proper business, starting in the garage.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got so many avenues I can make, when you have like the means of production. So I was looking at it, I was like, if I can get this with the, and make it really quick and you're not able to tell the difference between a metal mold and a silicone mold, like why not? Because you're not doing huge mass production runs. Like, what's the most anyone's really ever making? Like 100, you know?
Right.
You know, it's like you don't need a metal mold unless it just gives a certain thing to it. And we can figure it out. Like I've looked up a lot of stuff. I was like, this can be done. We can figure this out too, if that's what it's got to be.
Well, I mean,
Um,
you've seen like a lot of like the uh, set molds. You know what I mean? Like when they go to make something like the xenomorph eggs and stuff. Like I'm sure when you would have been working with Meow Wolf, it would have been like those big giant silicone molds. Sometimes they'll use and then rotocast them, and then that way they can have like big giant pieces for sets. So of course, like if you've been working around those kind of people and around that kind of material, no wonder your brain is like, fuck going steel mold right away. Like
yeah,
rotocast these fucking silicone molds.
yeah, and it's like I saw just it seems that Craftman seems to be getting a really good product out of just dipping silicone with the metal powder into the like the high temp salt. And I was like, oh man. And he's like, this thing's holding up. Like, I don't know how many I'm gonna get out of this, but it's holding up. So I was like, man, if I could produce 10, 20, 50, 100, you know, and provide this service to as many artists and myself, and then even produce stuff from artists who aren't even in the scene. You know, I've had a lot of local friends who are artists. They're like, you're doing what? Can you make something for me? Can you do like something? I'm like, we will. Yeah. Like, come on. Like, let's do it. Like, you know, I know enough about it to where it's like, I know the things that have to happen. It's like the process that it's going to be a bit new to me, but I have a lot of skills that I think I'll be able to figure it out pretty quick. And then once I figure it out, once I know I can get a good product, I need to fail fast, you know, where I just need to go and fuck it up and then fix it over and over and over again until it's really good.
That's a good way to put it, man. I need to fuck up really fast. You know, as funny as that is, I think there's a lot of truth behind that too, where you'd rather, you know, get the fuck ups out of the way right away than just kind of work through those so you can kind of smooth things out. I think it's much worse to to fuck something up when you're way further along in the process after you've put a ton of work into it already. But yeah, interesting. Plastic Tenacity, what is going on? Slightly Adrift Toys. Talking about collectors real quick, man. Slightly Adrift, just an outstanding vinyl collection, dude. What do you feel, man, when you have collectors like Slightly Adrift and some of these just wild vinyl collectors, dude? I know you've seen some of these collections out there that are just off the wall. But having, you know, one of your pieces in collections like that, is there any motivation when you're um, making pieces to do that? And then I guess at the same time, man, that probably adds to some of the stress, right, of doing commissions when you have collectors like Slightly Adrift that may want something painted up, that it's going to be amongst all these other incredible pieces.
Yeah, it was honestly, it wasn't anything I ever like aimed for. Like you're the first guy to buy those kind of high-end pieces that I had that I put out. I honestly didn't even consider them to be like, everyone asked, they're like, what's your favorite piece? And I'm like, the next one. Like, as soon as I'm done, I'm like, kind of like, that thing's all right, put that away. Like, this next one will be better. So I'm always just trying to impress myself, and I'm hard to impress. You know, you know, like other people said it, you're your own worst critic. And it's like, I know I can do better. And I'm always chasing that. I'm always trying to get down, always trying to make it a little bit better. And if that resonates with people, then I know I'm doing good. You know, I'm doing a good job. And that's why it's gone, I think, so far so fast. Like, I really only committed this and started digital sculpting with those little guys in October, you know, of last year.
Wow.
And it's just been like, okay, here's my goal of do this to get there, to do this to get there. And it's just been snowballing so fast where, you know, it's like, okay, well, it's the next thing. What's the next thing? What's the next thing leading up? like just climbing the mountain, you know, it's always
Sure.
just climbing the mountain. I'm not the person who kind of like turns around and admires the view. I'm just going to keep
Sure.
climbing. But yeah, you're the first person, yeah, to get those pieces and add them to a big collection. So I think moving forward would be, I still got quite a few leftovers. I need to start a store. And if anyone did reach out, you know, and wanted something painted, like specific, like I think I need to set the boundaries of like, look, here's how commissions are going to work. Like, you can send me something, and I'm just doing what I want to it. Like, it feels a little arrogant, but it's like I don't want to be held hostage in a way, you know, where it's like they send it over, they send it, and then they're like, oh, can you do this? Like, you do that. I don't like that there, you know, and they start like art directing, and then you're just like,
Right. See, and that's the part that I don't like about it as being a collector. I almost like, sending off a blank at almost 100% of the time. I'll say, just do whatever you want because I love the surprise of it coming back and not knowing exactly what it's going to be. But also, just kind of like what you said, man, being friends with other artists and then having them get a request for something and seeing the kind of pressure that that puts them under, and then seeing how many copies of that sometimes they go through before they actually get one that they'll give to them. A lot of artists might not be very honest about how many of those they've made before they made the one that they give you. But I could almost guarantee that a lot of them, it's not the first one that they make and they go, oh yeah, that looks good enough. That's what they wanted. It's like, I like that, but I don't really like that. I'm going to start again. So it's just like, God dang, man. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, here's the boundaries.
yeah,
I see people do it with tattoos all the time. This is what I'll do, and this is how it's going to be. You want it or not,
yeah. Yeah, and I think making my own stuff, like once it starts making my own stuff, it's gonna be like, well, I'm gonna be painting that, and then here and there, like I said, I got this little collection that built up that needs to be painted. Like, I'm gonna paint it the way I like it, put it out there. If you want to buy it, add it to your collection. Like, hell yeah, let's do it. Um, because it's just one avenue of all these different avenues that I'm seeing to go down. It's just kind of like, I think that's how it's all going to come together and start
yeah.
working, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dude,
Another
we've
good
been at this for an hour now, believe it or not. Is there anything, dude, that was kind of a good way to wrap that up, man. Is there anything else that you want to get out there for us? We're going to have to check back in with you because it definitely sounds like this is the beginning of a long journey that is really just getting started.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely have to check back in at some point. But anything else you want to get out there before we boot you on out of here?
I think I have one more piece that I did put over here to show off if anyone wants to see
Oh,
it.
what is that, dude?
It's
Oh
Vega
my
Relics.
God. Bro.
Yeah, this was one of those. He helped out with
Fuck.
Togor. And check this out. This is what I got this at the last designer con, and I had to.
Wow, dude. That is
see,
fucking rad.
Can you see that?
Oh man.
It's painted by Godo-san.
Oh
and,
God, dude.
That he's like in his 80s in Japan.
Bro, I don't
like
know shit about vinyl or vinyl painting, but I know
there's a legendary.
I was gonna say, but I know who that dude is.
You know who that guy is? Yeah, I learned about him. I was like, why do I keep seeing this guy with no mask and no glove?
Bro, isn't that wild? Him just sitting there and then just amongst this pile of vinyl, and it's just like boom, done, boom, done, and you're just like, holy shit, man. Yeah. That's wild, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy. Relic and Serp, and I've those were some of the first guys I was buying stuff from, and it was like stuff that really impressed me, and I was like, whoa, this is so cool. So I'm making sure that I every time I go, I'm going straight to them, first to see what they got going on.
Yeah.
Just they've been awesome. But yeah, I think that was the last thing I put over here to like just show off of what like it's inspired me, like what's brought me in. And like I said, it's been a crazy just black hole. It was a long story, and I'm always like, how do I condense this? Where it's like, all right, here's a long path of just pivot after pivot to get to this weird place that just feels like I don't know. It doesn't destiny doesn't sound weird, but it's like the universe. And it's kind of like I've just been noticing weird things where it's like I think all these things that have happened have been leading to this.
Absolutely, dude. I think from an outsider's perspective, just kind of digesting your story there, it's like a movie playing out that we're watching, right? It's like, there's a dead end, a dead end, a dead end, a dead end, yet all these dead ends are leading up to the whole of something else, which is kind of what we're seeing now is what it feels like. And that's very cool, man. Super cool work, dude. The paint is phenomenal. I'm excited to see the future work, the vinyl, the painting, whatever else you get into, dude. We will definitely stay abreast of your happenings. Anything else before we get out of here, ma'am?
No, thank you again. Thank you again so much
Absolutely.
for inviting me on. And
he gets the cut. That is Connor. No disrespect, my man.
I know. I always feel bad, but they don't know. They don't.
Episodes, we do it with the highest respect, man.
Yes.
You are a highly respected one if you've got the boot like that. Dude,
but now I feel bad. The guy comes in, I call him the wrong name. You typed his wrong name. Then we give him the boot. He doesn't know about the boot. And now we're just sitting here.
Dude,
fucking super villains over here.
Great artist though, dude. I mean, he's right. That was a long story, but it's like it really is like you're listening to someone tell the plot of a movie, and you're like, well, the movie's not over yet. We're just kind of getting to the best part now.
The pieces fall into place.
And pieces are falling into place, which is funny, right? Like, I'm sure as it's happening, it looks like fuck. And then you get going on something else, and then fuck again, man. And then it's like, and then COVID, and then all this other shit. And they look like dead ends. And then here we are looking back and saying, well, shit, man, sounds like it was a little bit of training for this and a little bit of training for that, disguised as a kind of a fucked up thing. But it's, here we are. And it really does feel like he's just getting into the painting of the vinyl. I mean, look at this shit, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, bro, so sick.
That's a beauty.
So sick. No, not taped off, not masked at all. Get out of here with that.
Which is, I was going to actually ask them at one point if they're using Tamiya tape for those kind of pieces, and then it's, oh no, not taping. It's like, oh fuck, okay.
Yeah. And this one too, man. I mean, this one, it's like, the palette on this one is just completely different. But god damn, that's so good.
Right.
Yeah. Exciting, man. That's gonna be cool. I'd like to go back through some of my video of Decon 24 in Vegas and see if I could spot him in the background anywhere, dude. That'd be funny.
You'll have to now.
But
that's your goal this weekend.
That's not my goal this weekend, but yeah, super cool, man. What you want to do next, man? You want to take a look at a couple things? You want to look at some tabby doos?
Show what you got over there,
dude. Let's just stay with the vinyl real quick, man, and stay with Plagued Earth, this Moon Dawn, dude. Oh my god. So what's super cool is Drew did a post. He had done a video of this one before. This thing is absolutely beautiful, dude. I had been trying to get a Moon Dawn for a while now, and I actually set my alarm for this one when I saw it, just because of that marbling on there. It glows in the dark. Sick piece from Drew. Plagued Earth Productions, straight out of Texas.
You always say it, but that's so much bigger than I expected, dude.
Bro, straight up, man. I mean, it is a large piece. But dude, that marble on there, it's just, oh my god. So damn good. Bag, love the Ziploc at the bottom. Boom. Moon Dawn the Protector. Bam.
Yeah, is that the cotton candy hand marbled one?
It is it's like a purple.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
sharp. I think
oh,
I'm
God,
I think I'm
so
watching
good.
it on his page while I'm watching you show yours.
Yeah, gotcha.
Cause toys. Oh,
Toys,
that's sick,
toys.
man.
Cool. Yeah, really cool, man. That's from Plagued Earth. Bam. Those are.
Gorgeous.
He's got a store with a ton of stuff in it, man. Some of those ones, those Moondons like that, they go really quick. He's got a ton of stuff on there though. Um, there might even be some older resin pieces in there. But there's a lot of different vinyl pieces in there that are super cool, man. Um, yeah. Oh yeah, he's got a lot of stuff coming out.
There's a lot in here, man.
There's a lot in there, dude. Dude. And he had started filling his vinyl pieces, his clear pieces with stuff a while back, and
Mm,
those always look phenomenal, dude. But I mean the some of the marbles that have been coming out on this Moon Dawn are just so fucking dope, dude. And like you said, the scale of them is way bigger than what I originally thought.
yeah, that's always so hard to try and what's the word? Uh, Convey to people. Because
Yeah,
admittedly, what's so stupid, man, is if you go to their website and you watch the video on their Instagram when they're holding one, even them holding one in their hands didn't quite put it in perspective for me. I don't know why. Tiny brain over here, you know? The sticks
yeah,
are being rubbed together, but
exactly, man. Hand Marble too, slightly adrift says Brickyard. His wife does awesome resin. Yeah, that's Kilo Fresh. She was on episode 131.5 with the Resin Sunnies. Yeah. Um, yeah, dude. Drew and I were talking the other day, and we were talking about the Sunnies. And they're probably going to have a really large announcement coming out about the Sunnies here pretty soon. But um, what a fantastic character that is for Kira. I mean, that thing has just been goes bananas
yeah, that was an
every
absolute
time
hit.
those come out, dude. I have three of them myself, and they're so cool, man. That's one of those figures that really kind of transcends to whatever you want it to be, and they all look good. Um, which is what I think is really cool. On Drew's page, we saw the Moon King there, and some of those pieces have come out and been showpieces that he has painted or filled in a way that matches up with a show, which is another thing that's really cool about blanks that you can do, resin or vinyl, for that matter. Uh, but yeah, the Moon Dawn is that's a beast, man. That's a sick piece. Um, the value, I think it was just it's a nice piece, man. It's a really really cool piece. Um, what you got on the old Tabby Doo marketplace there, bud?
Oh, we got a lot. We'll try not to take too long on him here, but
Oh, all
the
good.
artist list dropped for Toronto Toy Riot. I don't know if you ended up seeing that. That was a
I
nice
did.
little 30 artists coming to the GTA. Oh,
Nice, dude. Yeah, Angry Beast, Glad Ghoul. There's a lot of artists there that maybe are local to the area out there that you've heard of that I have not heard of before.
not a lot to be honest. Like Mad Mod Poet God was actually one of the first toy people I met here at the store. He worked at a place called, oh man, could have slipped my brain now. Sells like the Super 7 figures and graffiti supplies and all that jazz. So, of course, when I first came down here, that was kind of like one of the hot spots I ended up going into. Miniature Spencer is actually a friend of Dog Horror, if I'm not mistaken. And I was actually creeping his page not too long ago to see their day. Number two combo is going to be from the area. LM9's from the area. Dre Zay's is from the area. I don't know about this Grumpy Bunny. Cold Cuts is going to be coming in from Timmins. Angry Beast is just a little bit outside of the Toronto. Glad Ghoul's in the Toronto. Edwin Salas is absolutely not from the Toronto. General Porpoise typically ends up visiting New York around that time of the year, so I'm wondering if that's what their plan is there. Otherwise, Von Fake Names coming in from out west. Yo-Yo's Bootleg Bodega. I'm assuming it's going to be Yo-Yo Dine. Oh, who else? Remakes Plethora Hip Hop Toys is not from the area, obviously. So yeah, we'll see. It should be interesting, man. Collective,
Uh,
Doc Horror, thank you, man. Of course you know.
Yeah, Plaid Stallions. That should be an interesting booth as well. Patrick Sparrow's done some artwork and has a couple pieces out there, from what I remember. Cool, man. That'll be yeah. That looks like now. Are they going to be adding, or is this a final list?
You know what? That would have to be something you're going to ask Doc Horror, Yo-Yo Dine, Grayskull, or the Toronto Toy Riot page directly.
There
That
you
is,
go.
I would imagine that this might be it, but
I believe
who
there was a
knows?
newsletter too, right? Was there a newsletter? I think there's a newsletter you can subscribe to get the latest breaking news on the Toronto Toy Riot. So hit up their page and sign up for that, if you will.
Damn, man. There you go. Sign up for our newsletter.
There you go.
Look at you knowing the ins and outs.
Hey, man. Oh,
Clutter
boy. I love this one, Doc.
Magazine.
Yes.
Yeah, admittedly, I've been watching Angry Beast drop pieces for this. I think that's what kind of gave me the little hint because otherwise, I hadn't seen anything for it. I know that the Booze and Buddies or what is it? No, Booze and Pancakes is
Mhm.
doing their like little round of tours right now, but I didn't see the In Action Figures 13 poster until actually this week. So that's gonna be a fun little one.
Oh, yeah, dude. That's always a great show, man. Oh, golly, dude. Come on now.
Right?
Yes.
Grr, she says.
Wow.
And of course, Weird Kid Club, Saturday, 18th of April, doing a soft vinyl market. Gonna be a Monster a Go Go.
Nice. And where was that one?
And this one here is going to be over in, I'm assuming in Melbourne, still out in
Oh, gotcha.
Northcote, Victoria.
Soft vinyl toy market. Interesting. All right.
Yeah, I could see that being dope.
Yeah, I bet that'll be real dope.
The last like half hour, I've been trying so hard not to hurl, so I feel like I'm just like talking. You know, when you're like got that frog, I feel like I'm just like about to fucking any minute now. If you guys see it, that's gonna be cool. That'll be cool. Not often you get to see that happen in an evening. The Paint and Suffering. Did you see these freaking tar mans going out?
No, I did not.
Dude, like I'm glad they actually put this in here because some of us I think sometimes forget, but like yeah, these aren't mass produced. There is no factory making them all themselves with their own two hands. Each one is a labor of love. It's like yeah, when fucking Conner.Graves is in there earlier, even explaining, it's like you've got 50 all of a sudden, and then they even mentioned they're like, and kind of underestimating how long they would take. It's like that's always the fucking case, man. You forget that you might actually need like more layers of paint, the drying times, and the sanding, and the list just goes on and on and on and on and on. And before you know it, you've committed, and you've got the other people asking for some, and you don't want to show up with not having any. So suddenly you've got fucking 50, dude. Like, look at that row 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 of those.
Yeah.
They're going all your evenings for the next fucking week.
Yeah, dude. When he was when Connor was talking about picking up a piece and putting it down, and then the paint transferring and kind of some of the stuff about Vinyl Wonder paint and why he likes it. And it's pretty consistent with what I've heard from other artists. Is the dry time on it is like instant. But as he was saying that, I was thinking to myself, you with the clear coats, and then the picking it up and putting it down and the painting. I'm just like, oh my god, dude, that's probably been your world for a minute now. You're very familiar with all of that.
What's sad is 7. Literally wrapping up 7 right now, and I'm actually sitting there just being like, homie, another pause after this. 7 is like you don't again you don't realize even just fucking only 7, and you realize how fucking exhausting and mind numbing it can become very quick.
Yeah, straight up.
One more
Freezer
time, and I'll let
Brickyard.
you.
Freezer Brickyard. Don't be sorry, man. You probably fucking deserve it. Rip it up, dog. That's what we're here for, man.
Rip it up.
Rip
Sorry,
it up,
anyways.
dog.
Kevin Coldcuts is going to be coming in from Timmins. Actually, just dropped this guy the other day as well. Custom translucent red tar pit, 101 variant. But hit their shop up. They've actually got a whole bunch of stuff. Actually, originally I clicked here, I clicked that because it was right at the top. But this actually caught me off guard today as well. Some first variant of the Frankenbot basket case ball, solid gold, and these little cans. How come I can't just figure out which freaking tab it's on? Come on, Crummy. There we go. Basket case balls. No.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
You know what
Kevin
I'm
Cole.
talking about.
Yeah, Kevin Colcutt's dude, he's plugging away, man. He's
Always.
very consistent right now. You saw he's going to be at Toronto Toy Riot, so I'm sure he's making a big push for that. I did get a box from him the other day, which is very cool, dude. Talking about the scale of things, I was impressed by both pieces that were in the box. Plus, he loaded it up like a maniac. There's all kinds of stuff in there. We'll do some giveaways, and hopefully. Get those rolling out probably in the next couple weeks or so. But yeah, dude, hit up Kevin Coldcuts, dude. Another artist that's newer to the scene, I think, for us.
But
Um,
fucking go, 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 man.
and is going and just you know, kind of like Connor said, dude, just kind of working right through it. And that is I don't know, dude. I'd love to see that kind of what do you call that new guy energy, bro? You know what I mean? And some people get turned off by that. I fucking love it, dude. I love new guy energy. I love new guy energy at work when these fucking kids come in from the union hall and they've never been on a job site before, and you're just like, oh boy, we are about to learn some stuff today, my friend.
The
Uh,
soul
and
hasn't burnt yet.
it's so cool to see when artists are like that too, man, because I think they come across some challenges that we've seen other people work through, and it's always cool to see that development go on right in front of you. So let's take a look at another one, man. Let's
I was gonna
do
say, let's see.
yeah, let's do Scott Wilkowski. Scott Wilkowski, if you're not familiar, resin artist that does a lot of double cast work, and then it does a lot of like skeletal anatomical type stuff. This one is called Feline S. This one he was taking.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, bro, super fucking sick. I love these little stands that he used too. I have a few pieces of his that actually use those stands, and they're great for display because if not, how are you going to display this? But he was taking custom colors on these too. This one's got some killer UV on it. I asked for the good old watermelon combo. Um, but dude, sick. Again, man, that's like a museum-esque quality type piece. Really good value on that as well. I'm not sure if he's still taking orders on these or not, but you could basically request one color or two colors. And I asked for these two. We said absolutely, and that's what we got. Sick piece. Scott Wilkowski on that. He's done some double cast work. You can find some of his work on his website, but also take a look at DKE Toys. He's got some of his work pretty consistently. I know there was a series of 3.75 figures that he did with Sucklord, which are very, very cool. I've bought some of those at Decon, going back to Decon a little bit, but yeah, man, Scott Wilkowski,
Yeah,
awesome.
freaking TND toy box and vibrant. That's exactly what I was thinking too, man. Just
Yeah,
absolutely pops. That's sharp.
yeah. 20 plus years, Breezy Brickyard. Yeah, for reals. Wilkowski's been in it for a long time. There's a lot of other artists that I've talked to that have been around for a long time that know Scott pretty well. And I mean, if you go, like, he's got an extensive collection on eBay. Like, he's been around for so long, he's got a lot of pieces on eBay. And if you just want to I mean, of course, cruise his page on Instagram, but also if you're looking for something for sale, check out Instagram, man. There's always pieces for sale on there, and I think they're always a really good value, dude. That are not some of those double cast pieces that are going to be, a fortune. They're pricey, but they're fucking not exorbitant. I don't think he was at Decon 25. I was not at Decon 25. I'm not sure about that. If he was, I missed that, and that was dumb. But yeah, great
You would
artist.
hope be. Why can't you go to every convention ever?
I'm sorry. I apologize. There's some coming up, that's for sure. I'm going to try to get to, no doubt. Uh, Breezy Backyard, a huge Labbit. That the Labbit is actually the one that I was thinking out. There's a whole bunch of those on eBay for sale, different scales. But there's big ones. I mean, I guarantee you that's the one that I think when I first saw a Wilkowski piece, that's the one that I recognized was the Labbit. It's a, basically a double cast. If you're not familiar, Motley Miscreations, I would say, would be a good comparison as far as double cast work. A little bit different style, but it's still very cool. Next one, you want to do another one? You want to just keep on rolling?
See another one.
Dude. All right. So I got two left. Let's take a look at this one, dude, just because I saw him in the comments. Garden Variety Toys. Bro, okay. So this is a whole package.
That's what she said.
That's also true. But the box, dude. Okay, this box is filled with stuff. The piece itself, right here. Juvenile Brawler Frog. It does come with a little comic as well. We've been talking about comics a lot. There's a comic book as well. But the art on that is super cool.
What's crazy is the comic and that card were like probably what I remembered the most.
Yeah.
That comic really jumped out. The little comic that they'd done really stood out on their IG page. That's fucking shit.
Yeah, this is a little thank you card. The art on there is super cool though. That's sick. I'll probably end up framing that at some point. Also, there is a bunch of stickers in here. Spokane, Washington is where this came from. Hit up Turkey Tail Tattoo if you're in the Spokane, Washington area. Check that out. Juvenile Brawler Frog on there, just kind of chilling. Turkey Tail Tattoo, Spokane, Washington. Hit him up. Talk to Ben Hoteling. That is the guy. This is the piece right here, 5.5. Check that baddie out, dude. So odd. Just so like, what is that? Is that a frog with a soft goods cape? You're damn right it is.
Yeah, and I think what's really sick about that is that's definitely something that we would typically see more in like a Keshi size, maybe in like a little D&D like board game kind of size. You wouldn't expect it in a 5.5 like that.
Exactly, dude. That is it's original. It's I don't
sharp.
have a 5.5 frog in that kind of Motu style. Dude, it stands great. The feet are chunky. It doesn't look like it would stand great, but it does. It stands phenomenal. The soft goods cape is really good. But the entire package, dude, with the whole story, I think that's something that Connor was talking about too, man. Kind of creating a whole experience and a whole kind of story behind the piece and stuff. And I think that's exactly what this piece from Garden Variety is. With the comic book, and then the artwork. It is a whole, kind of experience that he's created here, which is, adds to the piece. But what a killer looking 5.5 indie toy, man. I mean, to me, I think that is a really good representation of an indie toy. It's not trying to be anything else. It's an Emotu style with an original character. It does feel kind of like a little bit of a, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what kind of resin that is in there, but it's it moves.
That's tight.
And it's tight. Yeah, dude. Way nice. Peg articulation. Look at that.
Interesting. Damn. That's a great piece, dude.
Yeah.
The pour is beautiful on that too.
Yeah, and I think there was a run of 5.6, 4.56, something like that. But check it out, man. I know there's a lot of 5.5 collectors out there. This is a unique one and is going to look great on display. Garden Variety Toys and Turkey Tail Tattoo. Hit them up. Spokane, Washington. Thanks again, Ben. That was an awesome piece, man. What a killer package that was. Like you said, the comic book, very cool. Check that out. Bam. Nice, dude. Solid, man. Like that. That's a good box. I feel like that one was a really good deal.
I couldn't sneak in there. That's what he said on your first comment. Sorry.
Yeah. Want to make his own Motu was the direction that he went with it. Yeah, it's dope, man. Original. Yeah. Oof. Good
So,
Lord.
I mean,
But speaking of Lynn's the Rat Boy, right? Like, and man, all these painted ones that are coming out. Oh my God, those are so fresh, man.
bangers.
Love them.
Yeah, Toxic Waste Rat Boy, Friday, 11 a.m. CST.
Yeah, very
From
nice.
this week. But what 2 days? Today's Wednesday? There you go. Alter Toys. I think we were talking about them a little earlier today.
Yeah,
Getting right the mini version of the Cthulhu idol.
very nice, dude. Their sculpt work is just phenomenal. We were talking about the collabs they've done with Skinner. What I really like, dude, the print that Connor Graves had up in the background there. Um, Alter Toys does something really cool with those pieces that they send out and the boxes. There's a sticker on the front of the box that's a Skinner sticker that makes it look kind of a really kind of clean, sharp presentation there. But I mean, killer sculpt work combined with Skinner. Skinner's work is phenomenal, dude. I mean, anybody who knows Skinner, what his artwork looks like, um, knows how detailed and wild that shit is. He started doing a little art show too, man, which I took a peek at the other day, which I thought was pretty interesting. I thought that was cool.
Skinner's definitely one of the OGs, man. Fun guy.
For sure.
Boom. I think we both ended up seeing this one and we're like, what the? Cretin. Going to be a fluorescent pink painted edition available Friday the 13th at 10 a.m. PST.
Dude, you know what's funny is I don't think you or I had wind-ups on our bingo card as far as kind of a new wave of stuff that's coming out. This is probably the third or fourth one that we've seen now of these wind-up toys, dude. And I don't know if one person did it and then the word kind of got around or just kind of made the idea pop from somebody else. But
if you've got thumb puppet, finger puppet pieces, how do you not? You know,
yeah,
I didn't even see the feet until you mentioned it. You said that, and I'm like, the fuck's he talking about? And I look up and I see this right here, and I'm just like, no. And then I see the stupid, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
yeah, dude. I posted one and we looked at one from Ophelia Toys, a Coldon. Coldon the Runner is what he was calling the small wind-up ones, but those ones are super, super cool too. But yeah, there's a few out there now. And that looks like a Epoch does a figure Psychotron, which looks similar to that, but that's very, very cool, man. I dig that. Gordon's
Just for
right.
a second, just because think of how much time actually goes into that between the little holographic sticker here, the paint apps on there, the fucking wire getting put inside of there, also putting the mechanism for the stupid wind up guy inside there. Like, fuck, man.
Connor says wind up toys with funny wieners seem to be a new trend.
There you go. There you go.
Uh,
Real Bernhardt, we were actually talking about these last week as they were working on them. These are going to be dropping in the shop Friday at noon as well.
yeah,
Well,
cool.
Nick Nightmare Studios. What do we got going on here? So, if anything, I kind of want to show this guy off here because this actually caught me off guard the other day. So I had no idea that Nick Nightmare has been in and out of the toy industry for 15 plus years and has some cool stuff. So here we get to see a nice little test cast of Douglas from Where the Wild Things Are, an unproduced McFarlane Toys line. You gotta like when artists we follow happen to have little dips in the like toy industry and suddenly just like pieces in their collection are insane pieces like this. And also, I guess maybe if anybody is unfamiliar, it might be worth popping over their page, checking out some of their work. And if that's an avenue you might want to go down, maybe they would have some info for you in that regards as well.
Yeah, dude. They God, really, really cool shit there. But you're right, man. That Where the Wild Things Are McFarlane piece, dude. Holy shit. I didn't know that was even a thing. Interesting.
You're catching me off my game here, man. I'm like half asleep tonight. New videos up. Why? What do we got going on here? So received a lot of mail as to where to find Astro Simians online. Here's the information for the ZoloCon exclusive General Zol. All remaining inventory will be sold at ZoloWorld.com this Friday, March 13th.
So the T&D toy box says the generic wind-up feet have been a revolution. I teach kids to sculpt over them, which is exactly what I was talking to Ophelia about, like how those are made. So yeah, very cool.
I think you had Luke Welch sculpts in here. Available Friday, March 13th, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. They're going to be doing a Jason little sculpt. It looks like, boom, will be the
Yeah.
only new sculpt for this drop.
Friday the 13th, always a big toy day. It seems like we just had a
cool.
Friday the 13th, and now we're coming up on another one. Yeah, Halloween
Sure,
also another
man.
big one. But Luke Welch, man, that's a master sculptor right there. His Jason sculpts, or any sculpts for that matter, are just off the charts, mini size, but the details are just fucking wild. Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned the details are fucking wild. Cause I'm looking at like the little eyes inside here too, and it's just like, yeah, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Alter Toys. Why we're back over to here? This is that piece that Connor just gotten in. They just came in the mail today.
Yeah.
But otherwise, Twemel Toys. We got this Komu Somon, packaged, ready to ship, hand painted, rotocast in Safubi like resin, ready to flute his way into another dimension.
Interesting. That's
right?
cool.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was a rotocast in Safubi like resin. That's the part. I actually thought it was just a resin cast, to be honest with you. I don't believe.
Yeah, Slightly Adrift says Welch's Wendigos are awesome. Agree. Dingy Dave, I found them online and started sculpting on them. Nice, dude. Yeah, that's like I said, that's kind of the word on the street on how to get those done. But there's a lot of people doing them. Dingy Dave, I do have one piece left, man. It is a Dingy Dave piece. If you want to take a look at that, we will absolutely do that right freaking now. I have several Dingy Dave pieces. If you guys follow Plastic Jesus at all, that is the page to look at for the Dingy Dave collection. Just an absolutely phenomenal page, a incredible collector, a good friend, and just someone who's really in tune with Dingy Dave, Motley Miscreations, Zimico. But this piece here was something new to me that I do not have yet from Dingy Dave. Just super cool, man. Talk about a really cool package all around. This is a Mad Melvin resin piece. Look at that beauty right there. Oh my God, dude. The paint on that is just out of this world. Look at the eyes. The card, that artwork is off the charts.
That's a beautiful paint app. You know, anytime that you put complementary colors like that, that's sharp, man.
Dude, that pink lemonade, and then with the blue in the eyes. Bam. Also came with a little monkey paw. Dave's little extras that he has are always super cool, man. Either skulls or monkey paws. There's a few different ones out there for sure. He's also got a really cool quarter machine at his table all the time with little goodies in it like this. That, and then the sticker from one of his other pieces that I have. Super cool there. But the Mad Melvin piece, man. Nice, dude. See, it's ones like this, dude. Like,
Are those doll eyes?
no, I
Those are
don't think
painted?
so. They might be, dude. You know what? I'm not sure. They look really cool, man. Whatever they are, those eyes are hypnotizing, dude. But god dang, that's good. But that's one, god, dude, it looks so good in the bag with that header card. But then again, I want to put it with all my other Dingy Dave stuff. You know what I'm saying? Creatures of Decay. Dingy Dave will be at Monster Palooza, which is coming up in the next couple months. If you're in the Pasadena area, hit that show up. Dingy Dave, man. You know, the very first designer con that I went to, he adds resin on top. Nice for the eyes. Very cool. Jazz Wiz, 100% agree with that. With that comment there. UV on the eyes too. Yeah, dude. Let me hit that up real quick. Actually, the UV sometimes doesn't come across very well on the camera. But oh man, Oh man, the glow too. Get out of town.
I mean, when
Woo!
it's stupidly good, it shows up no matter what. Nothing can stop it. Oh,
Hold up.
careful you don't get cancer next to that thing.
Bro, this is look at this. Man. Dude, that's glowing like crazy right now. Yowza. Dingy Dave, man. So, like I was saying, the very first designer con that I went to was in Anaheim. I want to say 2021, something like that. But I went specifically for Dingy Dave stuff because I couldn't land any of the stuff online because it goes so fast, man. Some of those cosmonauts and uh, the Cyclops, they go so fast. But seeing that table at DesignerCon, that is one of the most beautiful things you will ever see at a con is his table before anybody gets there. It's totally a different scene when it's all different, but he's got him levels tiered up. And when they're full, oh man, I have some really cool pictures of just that full table. And it's really something to see. We were talking about double cast work earlier, but the double cast, the glow, the UV from that artist is just it's incredible, man. Uh, Super cool. Everything that dude does is super legit. Glad to have that Mad Melvin. Um, just another banger of a piece from Dingy Dave, man. Straight up. Bam. Look at that. Is that okay? Was it no? You were talking about a bunch of figures that he had sent down to in action
An
figures. Is this
action
one of them?
figure. This is one of them. Yeah, they actually just did one yesterday too, and you are right. That was an absolutely gorgeous Dingy Dave piece that you have. But the Angry Beast, and honestly, looking at both of these, this is the one they posted yesterday,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which, I mean, for any of us from here in the north, it's like, yeah, okay, like maple trees, plaid, like it's good. I can't tell if they have casted the leaves. Right, the paint and resin is, it's like, is it painted? Because if they put a stencil, I could see how like the red would cause that. But at the same time, knowing the Canadian dudes, I'm like, did you guys use resin? Because of course they're bastards in that way. And then my brain started thinking, I'm like, well, if it's a two-part mold and you had it open like a sandwich for the torso there, and you started putting some clay or some plastiline, and you made a perfect little shape of the leaf, you could cast, and it would have that hole in there. And I don't know,
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
very
I don't know
intrigued.
either, man. That's that's cool though. I like that the maple leaf on the chest there. That's rad.
The maple leaf, and honestly, this fucking little weapon thing, when he
Yeah,
casts it in the clear, like fuck off, man. He did that
yeah,
with a stick in one of them as well. He just used a stick as like the handle on it. Absolutely gorgeous. And
yeah.
I might have, in like the most straight way possible, a little crush on Angry Beast, but it's just because of their work, I think.
Dude, you talk about a vet that's been doing it for a while now, man. They're always super cool work. That's I don't know what's that head from. Do you know?
Isn't it from a knockoff shredder?
I don't know. I don't know. Somebody knows.
Well,
Um,
see, and that's what's been kind of interesting, like from this head here, and then like that head's been used as like, I think there's a mask there, is it not? Yeah, it's a mask, and then it's
yes.
also been used as like a
Nice.
shield. Oh, this forever will
Ooh.
be. That's such a good one, man. We need more.
Oh my god, dude. I don't know if I've seen that, my friend.
I love how it's called Ancient Alien, and it's just got this fucking like alien head he's parading around, dancing with on. And then, of course, I couldn't not mention this one, man. I don't know if you guys ended up seeing this. Eric, by the way, congratulations on 3 out of the 5 sold already. There's gonna be the
Nice.
South Pork series. So its price is 110, shipping included. Currently only accepting payments through PayPal, message, or claim. Um, yeah, fucking considering like we haven't seen a whole lot of their work that they've done, and then they kind of teased this for like a second, and bam, there it was, man.
There it is. Yep.
Like
Nice.
smart
That's a
idea,
nice
clever
setup,
idea.
dude. Mm,
Yeah, well, and pretty fucking unique to go with 4 separate silicone molds for that, man.
right.
Oh, okay, and Chrome Dome. There we go. Slipshot Average and TND Toy Box talking about the Shredder-esque head there. It is a chrome TMNT figure from the 90s, Chrome Dome.
Nice. Also, Breezy Brickyard circling back on the Paint and Resin and Insane double cast face hugger, referring to Dingy Dave. Yes, the double cast face hugger and also the skulls that looks like it's a clear cosmonaut head, and then you see it in the UV light, and there's a skull on the inside. And I believe there's a face hugger of that same kind of makeup. Incredible work. The stuff on that series is just it's crazy good. That's actually the first piece that I bought was a double cast cosmonaut a few years back, and it's still one of my favorite pieces. It's super super cool. Chrome Dome, there you go. Like you said, man, there it is.
That said, you want to see who's got home?
Yeah, just real quick, man. Next week, just some happenings next week. We got Sewer Showdown is actually happening next Thursday, so there is over 100 artists in that show. We are going to talk to Dimension X next week about the show, and then we're also going to talk to Cash Brand about the spring showcase, which is coming up Monday the 23rd. So two big events coming up in the next couple weeks. Sewer Showdown on Thursday the 19th. Spring Showcase for Future Retroistic Magazine on the 23rd. Dimension X and Cash Brand will be here next Wednesday the 18th. Yeah, that's it, man. Dude,
Fun one.
you're a savage. Thank you for hanging in, bro. I didn't know that you were on the verge of yakking for the last 2 hours, but you pushed
Some
through,
will know
man.
it, some will not. It's called. I'm in that post-ictal, so like, it's just one of those days, man. It's just one of those days, right? But I appreciate you, dude. Everybody, always a pleasure. We'll let you guys all get on with your nights.
Real quick, Dingy Dave, Facehugger is a quadcast. Get out of here, you maniac.
Right?
What a beast.
Beast mode. All
See
right.
y'all next week.